Okay, let's probably start our webinar. And while we are waiting for everyone who is joining right now us, we will introduce ourselves with Alina. So, Alina.
Yes, sorry, unmuted. Yeah, so I'm Alina. I am currently a project manager at Agiliway. In general, I've been working in management for more than 6 years. I did a lot of different projects with different people, and I guess the best thing that I like about my job is that you can work with people from different countries and learn a lot from them. Yeah, so briefly, that would be it. And Nastya, I think it's your turn.
Thank you. So, hi everyone. My name is Anna. So I'm working as a project manager during the last 10 years and plus, I think. So I have some experience in product management and in BA. So, and I really enjoy my work because I can work with different projects to have different experience, and after that I can share all my thoughts, ideas with all of you guys. So, okay, we will talk about 5 key tips that will help you and your businesses to improve yourself. And I hope after this webinar, you will see how important is to have project manager at your own projects, and how project managers can assist you to resolve some issues, and how project managers can provide some opportunities for your business. Okay. So on our agenda, we will show you about what topics we will talk today. So we will talk about project goals. We will talk about communication tips, motivation tips. We will explain how to work with the distraction factors in very important moments around the project, and how important is project tracking and monitoring, and how project managers often work with it. So let's start with project goals, and the first topic will be covered by Alina. So
yeah, thank you, Nastya. So we will talk briefly about defining project goals. We will talk about why it's important, and maybe why it's important to make sure that your team does understand that, and I can explain why I thought that this is important. In my current project, for a long time, we worked with Kanban, and at some point we saw that our team is a little bit lost, and they don't really see what they are doing and what client's business is doing. Why do they need that? What they want to achieve by this business? And I guess the first question is how do you explain to the team? How do you get that information from the client? And one of the important things is, do you know how you can impact your client's business, and how you can grow it? Because we all know that if our client's business grows, our business grows as well. So it's really important to set straight communication with them and define with the client what they want from their business except making money, what is their goal or really great mission or vision or their project. And that can be, like in my case, improving mental health, improving in general healthcare system, improving some, I don't know, e-commerce websites or something like that. And once you get that defined with clients, it is really important also to understand how what you are developing will get you there. So we started to do this nice thing that for each epic we develop, we are trying to explain to our team what that epic will bring us. For example, we want to do this one new feature to make sure that our patients can get to our product and use our product faster and simpler. So they are not lost in a lot of screens, a lot of buttons, a lot of pop-ups. And that gives your team a clear vision why they are doing what they're doing. And yeah, it's really important also to communicate it to them all the time. Yeah, and I think that's briefly, that's it. And when it goes to communication, which is our next part, Anastasia, I give a word to you.
Thank you. So communication is a really important thing for project management, for business development and everything else, because all of us, we know that people, they are making the process. So, and the people, they must be on the more must take the most important place in project management, and every project manager must communicate with the team. So one of the most important communication tip is to communicate with purpose. So I mean that if you are scheduling the meeting, you must involve only interested in this topic people. You must create an agenda. You must verify all topics for discussion before it. In such a way, you will resolve all issues, you will find the answers, and everyone will be on the same page. That is why you must be clear, and you must verify the purpose of every communication that you have. It can be a meeting, it can be some communications through emails, it can be Slack communication, and so on. For example, in Slack communication, we have different channels for example, for backend part of work, for QAs, for front-end part, we have general chats. But we have random chats and some non-official chats that help us to communicate and to stay human beings. And it's more about our mental health. So listen actively. It's really important thing, because you need to understand, and you need to ask for questions. So if you're listening actively, after that you can explain and provide more details for your team, and in such a way you will resolve all the issues much faster than without it. So you must be active. You must ask the questions, and if you have opportunity to prepare before meeting, to do it. So try to use one communication channel. all of us, we are using different communication channels during a day. But for example, on my project right now, we are using only one channel for resolving all critical issues that we have. All technical questions are discussed only under this channel. Why is it so? Because you will inform everyone about decisions that were made in this channel. Everyone will be on the same plate. You can discuss everything. Even if we have some meetings, after that we are posting some meeting notes in this channel. In such a way, someone who missed this call will be informed about some technical decisions that were made without him. So, and in such a way, you will minimize some miscommunication between business and development team, for example, or between backend or front-end team, for example. As we, this case is really often appears in our daily routine. So another tip is encourage one-to-one communication. It's really important because you need to understand how it's going on with each individual on your project. And it's really important practice to have one-to-one meetings with your colleagues, and because under one-to-one meeting you can personally communicate with, for example, developer. You can ask him or her about their needs, resolve some problems to make their life more comfortable and more productive. And also from my practice, when we have one-on-one meetings, the 50% of this meeting we are talking about the project and about the issues that we have under this project. Because under one-to-one meetings, developers, they are more comfortable to talk about issues and to share the ideas how to improve the project, how to make the life easier, and so on. So one-to-one meetings, it's a really good idea because you will collect feedback from your team. You will see what can be improved, and after that you can talk with your customer and provide some ideas or some solutions that will in future improve the product or processes under the project. Check in regularly. So it's a really good idea to have stand-ups every day with your team because it's really important to have an understanding what you are doing even during the day, because if you want to have daily stand-ups, so you will see that someone can do something wrong and develop some things that are not expected from him. And when we have daily stand-ups every day, So you're sure that you are on the same lines, that you're doing correct things, that you are following the correct solutions. You can discuss some questions that appears, and in such a way, you can speed up the process and be sure that you are not spending more budget for one or another feature, because if you will communicate correctly, if you will track and sure that everything goes properly, you're doing everything that was planned and discussed and so on. After that, you want to change and to write everything again in another way. So that is why communication is a really important thing in our life. And project manager is a person who communicates, I think, during the day more than everyone else. And it's really important to communicate with purpose, listen actively, not only your clients, but your team. Try to use only one communication channel, because in such a way you will be sure that everyone on the same line. Use one-to-one meetings. It's really important to know about everything under your project, and check in regularly, so you're tracking the process on the daily basis. So that's all about communication, Alina. Let's switch on motivation tips.
Yeah, I guess all of the managers here will agree with me that this is really hard, because it's really, in most cases, it's hard to know what motivates people and like what motivates a certain team member. And like there's been a lot of studies around this area, and I think all of them say one thing, that in most cases people are really motivated when they are getting recognized, when they are doing really great job. They need to know that everyone sees that and that it's appreciated, and it's really, in my experience, it has a good impact when you do that on some meetings, for example, or sending short messages in Slack, for example, that this guy did a really good job in refactoring something, for example. And it's good because then a lot of people start a thread in there and they start saying the same things. And it really shows a person that everyone in the team and everyone in your client's team, they appreciate what they're doing. And this is really important. Another part for this is that you really can give a people a place to show off in between the development team what they are doing. So like in my team right now, we have a meeting hosted once in a month when they all go and show what they did really cool, how they optimized something really cool, how they did really cool UI or something like that. And it's really working. Everyone is really happy with that. The next item relates to a trust and giving people some level of autonomy to making their own decisions, to make their own decisions related to UI, to make their own technical decisions. And I guess also everyone will agree that there is really small percentage of people to like just to do what they're told, because in most cases people like to, figure something out, imagine something new, and then like, here, this is what I did. And it's really important for a lot of people. The next crucial item is creating really healthy and respectful company culture. It's really important to make sure that your people know that they're also appreciated, then they can make mistakes, that they won't be judged by that, and that they're in really healthy environment where they have a lot of people who can help them share experience and stuff like that. Another thing that really helps is to have a clear performance review process, because it's really important for the employee to know how they are going to move forward, what steps they need to take to get to some like middle senior level, what they have to learn, how they have to perform, do they have soft skills that they need to improve. And it's really important to give people feedback about that, and make sure that they are actually doing what they signed up for. And the last, it's really I guess it's easy on words and really hard sometimes. It's a transparent and clear communication, to be, I would say, as honest as possible.
Thank you, Alina. Motivation is a really important thing, I think, for everyone.
Yeah. Especially when you have a team full of senior developers who really need to build a rocket or something to feel motivated and happy about what they're doing.
Yeah, because motivation, it's one part of productivity, because if you're motivated enough, then you will be productive enough around your project. And during the whole your development life, you will have different types of motivation, and the project manager is the person who will motivate the team and will find what's motivate right now one or another person on the project. So, and that is why we will need to pay attention to motivation. Yeah, yes, as a part. Yes, Alina.
Yes.
Okay, let's switch to another one. So remove distractions. It's really interesting thing because sometimes it's really hard to be focused on something. And it's really important to remove all, not all, remove all possible, let's say, distractions for our team. It's not only about the team. It can be about yourself. You can have some you can have some distraction factors in your life that can make you less productive. So first of all, you need to pinpoint your distractions, your own one or for your team. So and if you will know them, after that you will know how to act with them. So you need to have a schedule on a daily basis. So for your team, like we have I talked to you previously, for example, communication. You have a daily stand-ups. You need to schedule all meetings. For example, you need to schedule all deployments. You need to schedule all demos. You need to try to schedule all processing things that can be important for you. If you can, you need to split your work. For example, how it works for my development team. So our guys, they are splitting their work. For example, they know that during the first part of the day, they are more productive. So they are trying to do all of the development work during the first part of the day. And after that, we are trying to set up all the meetings between us and together with clients. So, and in such a way, we are splitting our work, and we are removing some distraction factors. And meetings, they won't interrupt us during the first part of the day, and developers, they will be focused only on development work, and they won't have meetings and discussions, and they will be focused only on coding, and it's really productive. Ensure to have a to-do list. So it's a really important thing to have a to-do list, because if you exactly know what should be done during the day, if you estimated some work and you have a to-do list, you know exactly what should be done today, what can be moved for tomorrow. In such a way, you will be stay focused, and you won't be distracted by some other things. Alina, you can share your experience with deployment process and removing distractions during the deployments.
I guess so. At my project, we have a split team. Half of team is in US and half of team is in Ukraine. So deployment process is already hard as it is, because sometimes it happens in different hours. It was really hard in the beginning to make sure that people stay focused, specifically on cases where those deployment have to happen after, let's say, 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. And we did resolve that really simple. We added just one more person to watch. Because then the person who was actually doing the release felt more comfortable to not skipping nothing because it's too late. Because there is someone who is watching what I'm doing just in case. And that really helped, because people weren't feeling alone. One important thing we did, we removed, I think, third part of our meetings that we found unnecessary. Because sometimes you have situations when there are 20 people sitting on a meeting, when really it can be I don't know, 5 who actually make the decision, and you are just wasting everyone else's time. Yeah, so that would be it.
Yeah, with meetings, it's a really good example, because again, about communication and purpose of the meeting. So if you can invite only a person who make a decision, so please do it, and don't involve all others on this meeting. If you can minimize meetings for your development team, please do this, because our developers, they prefer to code, not to speak. And yeah, if you have such opportunities, please do it, and you will see how productive they will be after these decisions. So,
and yeah, maybe one more thing from me. It's really important also to make sure that your customer is not distracting your team from the main tasks that they are working on, because I think everyone here knows about the situations when you have a sprint and you have clear tickets and what you have to deliver, and then your CTO from customer side is messaging something to your developer hey, this is a small fix, we really need it fast. And then that person is off the track because he's been focusing for 4 hours on some complicated logic, and then there is a small fix that just makes him start all over again. So it's important to track those things and make sure that they don't happen.
It's situations from real life. Yeah. So, and let's talk a little bit about tracking and monitoring. So it's really important to track and monitor everything that is going on around our project. So First of all, we propose you to design the efficient plan for monitoring. So you need to understand, you need to have some KPIs, you need to have an understanding that this process is working for you. You need to have an understanding that if you're committed on some task, you will complete them in time. If you will design a plan and you will follow up this plan, it will be much easier to get everything done in time. But you will need to develop not only the plan, you will need to develop a report. So you will need to track the process, you will need to have some KPIs, you will need to get an understanding that everything goes properly around the project. So, but a really important thing is here is to see the weak places and the strong one. And if you have an opportunity to fix something, so for example, during the sprint, you took some tasks and you recognize that you can't complete all of them. So you need to understand why. You can create some recommendations. So, and after that, according to these recommendations, you can improve the process. So, and in such a way, when you will improve this process, you will be much productive, as I said previously. So, and that is why tracking and monitoring is really important thing to follow up the process and everything that you are doing on your projects. For example, again, you have a sprint, you have the list of tasks, you need to complete them, and you in one sprint you are completing them, at another one you are not, and you must to have an understanding why you didn't complete them all in time. Maybe it was some distraction factors from the business side. Someone asked you to add one more task, for example, and that is why you're committed to do more than you can do. And the recommendation for you will be for the next sprint: don't do this and say no, or ask the business to prioritize and remove some tasks from sprint and add this new one under it and complete everything in time. So, and when you're tracking and monitoring the processes around the project, you will improve them from sprint to sprint, and in such a way everyone will feel much comfortable, and you will be more productive, you will be showing more results for business, for development side. So, Lina, do you have something to add?
No, I don't think so. I think you covered most of this.
Was short. Okay, I think that's probably all, and we have Q&A session, and I see that we have some questions in chat, but I can see. Can you see them?
Yes, I can. So the first question is, what do you do if customer is distracting your team? First things first, you have to make sure that your team tells them, because in most cases when that happens, it's not happening in some, common chats, it's happening in direct, specifically for you not to say it. So it's important for the team to actually say to you that they're trying to pull something in. And then in my case, I had really long and very open discussion with my client, saying that, okay, if you want that, we will not do something else. You have to choose. We don't really have, like, sometimes you don't have enough resources, sometimes you don't have enough just time, because there is customer who is waiting for that. And usually open communication with customer and maybe even helping him to prioritize things, like, it settles it.
Yeah, I have the same situation, but we have the development team on our client side and on our own, and it's really interesting sometimes when a product team from the customer side, they're starting to distract us, and and like Alina said, they're trying to ask in personal channels to resolve some issues, to create some new features, and it's really important to from the PM side to track and monitor such things and stop them, because developers, they like to commit on some tasks that are not in sprint. And when you have some situations, such sort of situations, you're trying to communicate with customer, you're trying to prioritize things, you try to explain. And for us, it's a really interesting thing that it makes sense to estimate and explain how long it will take and how what part of the budget we will spend on this thing just right now, because sometimes we can do a little thing that will have a big impact on the project. And sometimes our product guys, they think that this big thing will have a big impact on the project, but they are wrong. That is why it's really important to sit, to talk, and to verify the priorities, because sometimes small things will have big impact, and we need to do them. And after that, we will switch to the big one. So, but it's really, it's really our, I don't know, usual situation.
Yeah.
Every day, yeah, the same. Okay, let's the next one, Alina.
How do you set goals for your team?
Oh, Alina, it's a question to you.
So in my case, our goals are more business driven. And it's like, again, how we can benefit from that. So usually, sometimes we set numerical goals. For example, like with this feature, we want our customer usage increase for 20%. And if you can make that happen, it means you hit the goal, right? And if you don't, we talk why and what else can we do to actually make that goal happen. Sometimes our goal is a little bit different, and it's like, well, we have to do this for some customer and by certain date, then basically your date is your goal. Yeah, we are just really trying to explain them why we want to do this, and sometimes why we want to do it by a certain date.
So for me, it's much easier because we can see our end users. So we are the users of our own system that we are developing. And we have the demos on our weekly meetings for the local team, for our customer team. And when we are resolving the problems that they currently have, so we are calling this this goal as tears of happiness of our clients. So because it's really important to see the end users and understand what we are doing and what business issues we are trying to resolve. So, and when we're developing new features or when we are fixing some bugs inside the system, so we are getting the feedback. And for us, the main goal for us to get a good feedback. For example, some times ago, we fixed some export feature in our system. We have really huge database, and when our clients try to export something from their accounts, it took something like 5 minutes, and it's really a long. It took so long time to export some file, but when we resolve this issue, right now it takes something like 5 seconds, not 5 minutes. And in such a way, we speed up the process. So we simplify lives of our users. We made huge impact on our project. We get new clients under our platform, and everyone is happy. And we saw the tears of happiness from our users. So it's a goal. The next one. Okay.
Yeah, what to do if engineer doesn't like project client and decides to leave a project ASAP and you don't have anyone for substitution?
Interesting question, really.
This is a fun one. I would try to understand why the person doesn't like project and a client, because I don't know, sometimes if you work with people for a long time, you can see that something's wrong and you can identify those things sooner. And it's really visible in person's behavior. Right? Like if a person previously was really sharing ideas, sending messages about improvements, talking a lot with the team, and then suddenly the person stopped talking. So yeah, I would try to identify why. And if I can fix the situation, right? And if I don't, well, sometimes you just don't have any other option than to let person go, because if person doesn't like working here, the person won't be effective, and you might actually lose more by keeping that person in than actually letting the person go.
Yeah, and it can reflect on all team. If if someone is not happy with project, with someone from customer team and so on. But first of all, you need to sit and talk and identify all the issues that you have, and if you can resolve them, if you can create some comfortable situations for your developer, for your teammate, please do if you can. So unfortunately, you won't have another option. The next one, Dina.
There is no questions. There are no questions.
It was the last one.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you. Maybe you have some questions to ask. Let's wait for a couple minutes. And I will switch to another slide.
What are you doing to avoid stress situations on the project?
Oh, it's an interesting question again.
You can't. Sorry if I break it for someone. You can't. For me, the main question is how you deal with those stress situations. Because like when you are a manager, I guess, if there is something happening and you are stressing out and panicking, all your team will panic and stress out. Yes. And eventually that will lead you nowhere and you will not achieve nothing. So try to keep, cold mind and try to think straight. And I guess if you are seeing that it's not possible at the moment, take a walk for 15 minutes and go back and and resolve the situation. That works for me, because sometimes you just have to step out, think a little bit, and then you have a clear plan in your head. And in most cases, when your team sees that you have a plan, you are like, it's clear plan and they know what to do, like they will do it. And in most cases that plan will change because they will have improvements, because they are not stressed out. Well, not as much as you.
I don't know the project without stress. Yeah, and it's a job of project manager to minimize the stress around the project. So if you can turn and hold on button and wait a little bit, and after that sit, talk, verify the stress factors, and after that with cold mind resolve the issues. It's a good idea, because in the practice you can resolve almost everything if you will keep calm, sit, try to listen, try to understand, and after that try to fix the situation.
Yeah. And it's also important to analyze in retrospect and see if there is something you can do to make sure that those stress situations don't happen again. Like in some particular cases, like let's say you had an emergency and late hotfix, and you've been working until 3 p.m. And then deployed everything to production. Sorry, not 3 p.m., 3 a.m. in the night. So it's important to analyze why that happened and what steps you can take to make sure that you don't, like you and your team don't work in such late hours. Yeah. Okay, and next question. What to do if you, as PM, like project, but you don't like your client as a person? How to manage this?
It's an interesting question. Alina, did you have such cases?
No. No, not really. I mean, I did, but it was another case. So I was working with German customer, and I didn't like him because he was not responding to any communications from my side or my CEO's side for 2 months. And then he showed up saying, well, where is the project? We need to be live tomorrow. So you have a chain of, I don't know, 40, 50 emails and a lot of messages in Teams, and there was no response. I mean...
This is my nightmare, Alina.
It's really complicated because, like, at first, I felt really frustrated. Like, first 2 weeks, I thought that, well, maybe person is busy and he will come back to us. I tried to resolve my questions with a designer who was also like on customer side. I tried to resolve that with them, but there are some questions that really he couldn't answer. when it was, I think, end of week number 2, I started messaging my CEO saying like, listen, it's really weird, but he's not responding. Can you maybe send him an email? So our CEO messaged him, like the client, and he said, okay, let's see when he responds. And he responded in one or 2 days saying, I will answer those by the end of the week, and nothing. Then we started like actually calling him by phone. And he was like, yes, I will answer, but I'm on the meeting. I will call you back. And it really, it was frustrating. It was really small project, but it just, I really didn't like the fact that you're sending a lot of messages. You're like, you have a lot of blockers and you can't move forward with the project and there is no answer. And like there is a team sitting and waiting. And well, so I guess that's the only case when I didn't like the client, but I couldn't do anything about it because he was not responding. So we worked with that same customer again, but our CEO just asked for one favor from his side, to assign a project manager from his side, like from client side, and that resolved the issue. And did you have a case when you liked the project but didn't like the client?
Yeah. I had such cases previously, and it was really nice project, but it wasn't really nice client. And we have a really big team there, and we need to communicate on the daily basis, and the client involved us on the business decisions, and it was pretty hard to work. But I resolved this this issue. I don't know, is it issue or not? I don't think is it issue. You need to find a way how to communicate, and how communicate comfortable for you, because you have a project, you have some business goals, you need to understand how to make everything work, how to remove blockers, and so on. And in such a way, you need to analyze and understand how to deal with one or another client. Is he or she nice and good to you, or not at all? So it's your job, and you are like a PM, like a tool on a project. And you need to understand how to deal with difficult clients too. I have such cases when there is no answer from the customer for a month. The same, Alina. So and yeah, and a tons of different situations, but according to the experience, you can resolve almost everything. But if it's really toxic client, and it's really hard, and if it's really reflects on your house, I don't think that you need to continue working on such project, and you need to leave. Yeah. But I don't have such cases. Previously, it was hard clients, but we found solutions how communicate. One time it was to switch communication to CTO. Another one, it was to communicate through emails, and so on, because sometimes person don't have time enough for meetings, and he can be stressed, and you can communicate with client correctly and productively through the meeting. And the better will be to have some Slack communication or send email and so on, so on. Yeah. Do we have any other questions, Alina?
No, thank you, girls. You are so cool. Thank you very much.
So thank you everyone to join us. I hope it was interesting and informative for you. If you will have any questions to me or Alina or to our company, please use the phone numbers, emails, visit our website, and yeah, we will try to answer on all your questions. So stay safe, have a nice evening, have a nice morning, afternoon, I don't know. So bye guys.